Vice-Chancellor, fellow council members, staff of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. To members of a university, a ceremony for the presentation of awards is a particularly important and happy occasion. To all of you, I extend a very warm welcome. To graduates, I offer congratulations and best wishes. The university's mission commits it to achieving international excellence in education and research. In the area of teaching and learning, the university aims to provide an education to all students which will equip them intellectually to the best international standards. The university's goal is to develop graduates whose knowledge, skills, abilities and attitudes are highly valued. Graduates who are able to contribute to the workplace and broader community and have the opportunity to lead rich and fulfilling lives. Whether you are here today to celebrate your first undergraduate degree, a postgraduate coursework degree, or the research higher degree of Doctor of Philosophy, you have acquired comprehensive and well-founded knowledge in the relevant discipline, appropriate professional knowledge and skills, the ability to think logically and laterally, critically and creatively, and to use these qualities effectively in decision-making and problem-solving. There are two critical tests of the quality of the education you have received from this university. One relates to your own satisfaction and the other to the satisfaction of those with whom you work. As new graduates, you will have received the Graduate Careers Council of Australia's Graduate Destination Survey and the Course Experience Questionnaire. Responses to these two instruments by graduates from previous years demonstrates a high level of satisfaction with their educational experience at the University of Newcastle. I hope that your experience has been similar. In addition, commencing salaries for Newcastle graduates continue to be higher than the national average, indicating that our graduates are highly competitive against those of other Australian universities. Employer satisfaction, as reported in the university's own employer survey, is also very positive. The speed and nature of change in our society today is such that whatever qualification you have completed, you will need to be engaged in lifelong learning to be and remain successful and valued as a citizen, employee and manager. I'm confident that the skills which you have acquired during your study at this university will stimulate the continuous search for more knowledge and understanding. These in turn will equip you to make significant contributions to the local, national and in the case of some, the international community. In the area of research performance, your university currently ranks 9th out of the 39 public universities in Australia. It has an annual research income of about $25 million and a total annual expenditure on research projects, research scholarships, research infrastructure of about $36 million. This is an outstanding research achievement and feeds into the teaching at this institution. I take this opportunity to remind those receiving their testaments today that as graduates of the university, you automatically become members of the graduate body, the Convocation. You thus join more than 50,000 other graduates worldwide and have an opportunity through elected representatives to become involved in the governance and development of your university. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to present the university's award for excellence in teaching.
Chancellor, the University of Newcastle's Award for Excellence in Teaching scheme was established in 1992 to encourage and reward the development of creative approaches to teaching which stimulate or facilitate student learning either generally or of particular concepts or methodologies. The scheme reflects the university's acknowledgement of the importance of teaching as one of our major responsibilities and is a statement of our commitment to continuous improvement in this activity. Chancellor, I have pleasure in presenting to you Professor Swee-Yen Chen to receive the university's Award for Excellence in Teaching on behalf of the Department of Building, Faculty of Architecture, Building and Design. The Department of Building has demonstrated that it facilitates high-quality student learning. The innovative undergraduate program in construction management uses a problem-based learning approach with both on-campus and distance learning students. To ensure the high quality of teaching, the department regularly seeks feedback on teaching activities, both within the department from students and staff and outside the department. The department is committed to support for staff development in teaching and learning activities. In 1999, the department received a citation for excellence in teaching from the Australian Institute of Building. The composite employer questionnaire, which measures graduate satisfaction, identified the program to be the best in Australia for the years 1999 and 2000. The Department of Building has also received professional recognition by academic peers and professional institutions as one of the best in Australia. Chancellor, Professor Swee-Yang Chen.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Architecture, Building and Design to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science Architecture. Jeff Armstrong. Just come right round here. Thank you. Emma Bell. David Bloomfield. Innocent Chidziva. Bon Bin Gu. Aaron Harley. Pei Lee Hugh. Celeste Martin. Gregory Pratt. Nicholas Widgery. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree Bachelor of Science Architecture with merit. Scott Barrow. Chloe Beattie. Chaya Bratweva. Ryan Bridges. Anaran Chaplin. James Clarence. Andrew Clarkson. Daniel Evans. Lee Gilshanan. Anita Hamill. Kenneth Ho. Robert Holt. Lester Go. Inez Horvat. Kim Jolly. Joanne Keltika. Han Kyu Kim. Tracy Lee. Andre Lingajaya. Vaughn Lynch. Belinda Melville. David Miller. Olivia Monroe. Van Pham. Ricky Piper. Kate Pullen. Rutakarn Riabroy. Jane Donaldson Sharp. Lyndall Smith. Rebecca Stanfield. Olivia Van Dyke. Bruno Veninga. Shelley Williams. Ka Fi Yun. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree Bachelor of Architecture. Rebecca Graham. Enzo Macolino. Gregory Swenke. Ki Tang. Kim Vandenberg. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Architecture with Honours Class 2, Michael Corrigan. Rachel Frecker. Phoebe Heinrich. Katrina Julian. Paul Stevenson. Mark Williams. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree Bachelor of Architecture with Honours Class 1, Laura Brown. Michael Chapman. Caroline Hart. Julie Jupp. Ang Lei Kang. Charles Lake. Catherine Linton. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Construction Management Building. Andrew Ball. Todd Lee. Mark McInnes. David Otero. Garth Searle. Philip Stevens. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Construction Management Building with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Andrew Hansen. Rodney Semple. Chancellor, I present you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Construction Management Building with Honours Class 2, Division 1. Shane Farrugia. Donal Hayward. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Construction Management Building with Honours Class 1, Ralph Zenke. Chancellor, a university medal may be awarded to a candidate who has achieved first-class honours and displayed outstanding academic ability. In assessing ability, the graduate's record throughout the whole degree course is taken into account. In addition to achieving consistently high grades, the graduate must have completed at least half of their degree requirements at this university. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree Bachelor of Construction Management Building with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Duc Tan. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Graphic, George Andis. Jason Beck. Guy Broadfoot. Ryan Carter. Danielle Caton. Timothy Condrick. Justin Dang. Emma Davidson. Richard Davey. Stephen Deans. Natalie Edwards. Claudia Fontaine. Jonathan Foy. Karen Gibson. Dennis Hurley. Megan Johns. Alex Lowe. Michelle McKinnon. Scott Osborne. Sarah Parkinson. Karen Pastor. Konstantina Petrahilos. Dominique Phillips. Claire Robinson. Margaret Rolla. Philippa Russell. Jennifer Selmore. Damon Taylor. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Graphic with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Peter Atkins. Marty Deans. Lindy Martin. Michelle Tickle. Christopher Warnes. Megan Webster. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Design Graphic with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Christy Newton. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Graphic with Honours Class 1, John Atsalos. Rowena Fung. Alison Godwin. Christopher Lawrence. Laura Magrix. Carolyn Zambo. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Graphic with Honours Class 1 and University Medal. Kamala Seymour. Jane Scamp. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree Bachelor of Design Industrial, Andrew Cross. Caroline Prentice. Daniel Schiemer. Shireen Suleiman. Stephen Vimpani. Nicholas Winslade. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Industrial with Honours Class 2, Division 2. Adam Doyle. James Forsyth. Chelsea Stevenson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design Visual Communication with Honours Class 2, Division 1. Dale Bowers. Marinda Campbell. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Design, Visual Communication with Honours, Class 1. Sally Birch. Roslyn Earp. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Architecture, Building and Design.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Mathematics to present graduates from that faculty.
Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Science with Honours, Class 2, Division 1, Simon Katsakiris. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Science with Honours Class 1, Michael Grabham. Julie Makings. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Science with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal, Christopher Weldon. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Mathematics, Geoffrey Carlton. Lee Cohen. Darren Dowd. Kathleen Humble. Sophia Kalinas. Zoran Normovsky. Shane Wu. Scott Simpson. Chancellor, I present you a graduate for the award of the combined degrees of Bachelor of Mathematics and Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering with Honours Class 1. The graduate has studied for both awards simultaneously. Michael Matthews. Chancellor, I present you a graduate of the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours Class 2, Division 2, Michael Lata. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours Class 2, Division 1, Daniel Blackmore. Rowena Mankalo. McLaughlin. John McLaughlin. Katie Aoyong. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours Class 1, Karen Carthew. Renee Johnson. Michael Owen. Graham Puxty. Matthew Searson. Peter Yates. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Class 1 and the University Medal, Catherine Ellington. Christopher McNeil. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biotechnology, Christopher Ainsworth. Mary Bolton. Elise Buckeridge. Renee Crompton. Amy Deadman. Angela Ferguson. Janet Holt. Jacqueline Horsington. Annalisa Johnson. Carolyn King. Matthew Laver. Amy Lonergan. Jacqueline Lowe. Belinda Mercer. Jacqueline Morley. Donna Morton. Michael Sheehan. Corinne Smart. Travis Stevenson. Michael Strickland. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biotechnology with Honours Class 1, Callie Asquith. Kelly Avery. Rosa Bellato. Stephen Dibley. Stephen Perlow. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Professional with Honours Class 2 Division 1, Emma Gardner. Timothy Hill. Nicole Wilson. Chancellor, I present to you graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Professional with Honours Class 1, Jason Kilpatrick. Benjamin Watts. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Science and Mathematics.
We will now have a musical interlude presented by the Indonesian Students Association group. They will play their own composition, a potpourri of the archipelago's ethnic songs.
Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to invite Professor Ian Lowe of the School of Science, Griffith University, to deliver the occasional address. Professor Lowe's research is concerned with the influence of policy decisions on the use of science and technology, particularly in the fields of energy and the environment. In 1998, Professor Lowe directed the Commission for the Future and was named Australian Humanist of the Year. In 1991, he delivered the Boyer Lectures for the ABC. Professor Lowe chaired the Advisory Council, which produced the first national report on the state of the environment. Last year, Professor Lowe received the Queensland Premier's Millennium Award for Excellence in Science and the Prime Minister's Environmental Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ian Lowe.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduates, other members of the university, guests. I'm grateful to the university for asking me to be part of your graduation ceremony. I have an association with this institution which goes back to the time when an autonomous university was still a glint in the eye of Professor J.J. Okmuti, and I've been delighted to see the way it's grown and prospered, and I'm honoured that you asked me to share your graduation ceremony tonight. My first and most pleasant task is to offer my warm and sincere congratulations to those whose academic achievements have been recognised tonight. The graduation ceremony is the culmination of your study, it's the reward for your years of work, it's public recognition of the standards you've achieved. You're right to see it as an occasion for pride and an occasion for celebration, and I'm under strict instructions not to delay any longer than necessary your celebration of your achievements. I do want to say, though, that you should see your graduation not as the end of your education, but simply a milestone on the road of the education which the Chancellor said to you would continue for all of your life. I recall on the second occasion when I took my New South Wales driving test, the examiner said, "Congratulations, you've passed your test. You can now go and learn to drive." And I thought that was a bit deflating in my moment of triumph. But when I reflected on it, I was being given very good advice. The examiner was telling me that I'd shown that I could navigate a car successfully around a well-rehearsed test circuit, and I was now empowered to take the car out onto the open road where I would meet new and more difficult and more complex circumstances and have to learn to adapt to them, have to learn to drive under more difficult situations. And in the same sense, you have demonstrated your skills and your understanding under controlled circumstances where most of the time help was at hand. You are now empowered to take your skills and knowledge out onto the open road where we will face more complex situations, where the experiments aren't designed to give you the right answer, where in some cases there is no right answer, and you have to adapt to that more complex world. But there was a more fundamental sense in which it was good advice. I had proven that I was competent with the car of that time and the road rules of that time and the road conditions of that time. But the world has changed very significantly in the embarrassingly long time since I obtained my driver's licence. And to remain not a danger to other motorists, I've had to adapt. I've had to keep learning to different vehicles, to different road rules, to different road systems. And in the same way, your skills and knowledge that you have demonstrated now will not be adequate for the rest of your professional life. You will have to keep adapting to new knowledge, new understanding, new traditions of doing things. The world is changing more rapidly than ever before. It's a sobering thought that about as many scientific papers have been published in the last 10 years as in all previous human history. Knowledge is advancing faster than at any previous time, and you're being expected to apply your knowledge to a more complex and more difficult world, in which we're expected to make choices that will shape the trajectory of human development towards the goal of sustainability. The United Nations Environment Programme's report Global Environmental Outlook 2000 said the present path is unsustainable, doing nothing is no longer an option. And in a sense, I wanted to remind you that it's not just environmental academics like myself who are saying these sorts of things. Who was it that said, for example, that the anticipated downturn in oil production will lead to the end of the internal combustion engine in the foreseeable future? Not an environmental activist, but the current CEO of the Ford Motor Company? Who was it who said that Australian corporations could reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by 10% at no economic cost? Not an environmental activist or a lefty academic, but the current CEO in Australia of British Petroleum, Greg Bourne. Who was it who said that if we fail to innovate and fail to invest in research and science, the Australian dollar will soon be worth 30 cents US? No lefty, but the government's chief scientist and head of research at Rio Tinto, Dr. Robin Batterham. Who was it who said recently that multinational corporations need to commit themselves to universally enforced standards of social obligations and environmental responsibilities, and need to acknowledge that present patterns of resource use and waste production will lead to environmental and social problems within 20 years? Again, no environmental ratbag, but the co-founder and current chairman of the Nike Corporation, Phil Knight. The point I'm making is that the need for change is apparent quite widely within the corporate sector. It's still to impinge on the consciousness of the Prime Minister, but that's a more ambitious task. We now recognise that we have to think about patterns of resource use, we have to think about the environmental implications of what we're doing. And that applies to all areas like building and construction, to industrial design, to the way we live and operate. Many of our current buildings combine so many features of bad design that they might have been sponsored by the electricity industry to boost flagging sales. And the principles are not necessarily new and revolutionary. After all, the Greeks knew how to design for the climate 2,500 years ago. And it seems to me, while professional change is rather slow, we might expect the architectural profession soon universally to have reached the standards of the Greeks 2,500 years ago. In social terms, I think the big challenge is to achieve a much greater equity of access to the fruits of economic growth and industrial progress. Within Australia, I think the urgent task is to achieve reconciliation with our Indigenous population. But globally, the urgent task is to share more equally the benefits of recent economic growth. The world income, if it were distributed equally, would amount to about $10,000 per person, but more than 1 billion people get less than $2 a day. The world food, if it were shared equally, would be 2 kilograms per person per day, a staggering amount, and yet millions go to bed hungry. The point is that the future, I believe, demands that we have a social commitment to more equitable access to the benefits of our enormous technological achievements. So why am I optimistic that we can achieve these goals? I'm optimistic because the history of human civilization shows that time and again we have achieved gains that would previously have been seen as utopian. 200 years ago, a world without slavery was a utopian vision. 100 years ago, as we were reminded earlier this week, a world in which all adults could vote, even women, was still a utopian vision. For that matter, 20 years ago, it was still utopian to think of Berlin without the wall, or South Africa without apartheid, or laptop computers, or mobile phones, or even the idea of good coffee and civilised licensing laws in Queensland. In fact, if you think about it, most features of modern life that we take for granted were once utopian visions. And we have them because people weren't content with the inferior world in which they live, but worked purposefully to make a better world. And that's a reminder of my final point, which is that the future is not somewhere we're going, but something we're all engaged in the act of creating, whether we realise it or not. We tend to be fatalistic and think that technological change or global economic forces are so powerful that we have few options. But if I can use a sailing metaphor, we cannot choose which wind will blow, but we can set the sail. We are not required to run before the wind. And if you think about it, a canny sailor can use whatever wind is blowing to sail in whichever direction they want to go. We should be making choices about the direction in which we want to go, and we can then set the sail to use the winds to take us in that direction. In that sense, we are not passengers on spaceship Earth, we are the crew. We are the crew because our science gives us a better understanding than we've ever had before of natural systems and our impact on them. And we're the crew because our technology gives us a wider range of options than we've ever had for meeting our needs in ways that do not disrupt natural systems. And we're the crew because I believe our humanity calls us to use that scientific knowledge and that technical capacity wisely in the interests of future generations and in the interests of other species. Let me finally say that while you will undoubtedly use your professional qualifications for advancement and for a better life, I hope you won't lose sight of the need to maintain our quality of life in the pursuit of economic goals. I was at a conference a few years ago at which a captain of industry was thumping the lectern about the fact that Australia has declined from 4th to 17th in the OECD league table of income per head. And he was urging us to work harder to get back up to where we should rightfully be. I was on the panel as the token ratbag, so I asked him which of the 16 countries with a higher income per head he would prefer to live in. There was a long and embarrassing silence before eventually he said, "That's not the point." I said I thought it was precisely the point, because except for the pathologically disturbed, money is not an end in itself, but something that allows us to achieve the lifestyle to which we aspire. And living in southern Queensland, I see literally every day hundreds of people arrive in Australia, almost all from countries with a higher income per head than we have. And what do they come here for? To marvel at our political institutions? To admire our old buildings? No, by and large they come to savour for a few weeks aspects of our quality of life that all but the poorest Australians take for granted, like relatively clean air, relatively open space, beaches and bush and barbecues and golf courses. So I urge you, in striving for economic advance, not to lose sight of that quality of life which makes Australia, I believe, the most wonderful place in the world to live. As professional graduates, you have a unique capacity to play a part in shaping the Australia of the future and shaping the sustainable, equal, reconciled future that I hope we will have. In one sense, that could be seen as your responsibility to the taxpayers who've subsidised your education. But in another sense, I believe it is your real reward for studying and graduating, the fact that you are empowered with a greater capacity to play a part in shaping the Australia of the future. My congratulations to you once again, and my best wishes to you as you go out on that great adventure of shaping what is, after all, our common future. Thank you very much.
Professor Lowe, thank you very much for such an optimistic speech. Enjoyed it very much. I now have great pleasure in inviting Catherine Allington to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the Council, staff of the University, families and friends of graduates, and most importantly, graduates. When I was offered the opportunity to speak on behalf of the graduates, I must admit I was a little bit nervous, so please bear with me. I believe that while each of us has had a vastly different university experience, which has moulded us into free-thinking, independent and unique individuals ready to conquer the world, or at least make a dent in our hexstets, we are brought here today feeling a sense of camaraderie, and we find that maybe after all, we're not too different from each other. I'm sure each of you can remember that first week of university, wandering all over the campus, navigating discreetly from a union-provided paper map, folded sufficiently so that it could disappear up the sleeve to avoid looking like a first year. We were filled with a new sense of purpose and stood out with our fresh green glows. However, the desperation to find your first class, after wrestling with the ogre that was university parking, quickly replaced the butterflies with a sense of frustration, a furrowed brow and sweaty armpits, a none too appealing look for those eager to impress. You hurry into the theatre and take your seat in what you expect to be Chemistry 101, only to find that it is in fact erotic film studies. You stay in your seat, intrigued by a course you never knew existed, and too embarrassed to leave and make obvious your inability to read a map, a typical first-year blunder. At that time, the university seemed huge, and we were very little fish in a very big pond, perhaps more specifically goldfish, and our already short attention spans were being overloaded by the second with all of the new and exciting possibilities presented before us. As my education progressed through second and third years, I found that my pond shrank and I as a fish grew. My circle of friends and acquaintances expanded, making the distance between the pond's shores smaller and smaller, and my perception of what lay beyond them changed. At the end of third year, I accepted the opportunity to swim in a new pond as I undertook a vacation scholarship at the Australian National University, a unique learning experience that affirmed the academic pathway I'd selected. However, social activities held by the university, such as O-balls, the beach parties and functions at the bar on the hill, temporarily dissolved all ambitions to conquer the world as a chemist, and I entertained the possibility of becoming a professional student. The academic pathway that I chose to pursue was one that was questioned year after year, and if I had $1 for every time I asked myself, am I studying the right course, then if nothing else, my financial future would be secured. I discovered that I wasn't alone in asking myself this question, and now realise it was an important means of confirming to myself that studying for a Bachelor of Science with a chemistry major was the first step toward achieving one of my many aspirations. The academic achievements we celebrate today highlight the theory, practice, and sometimes seemingly minute detail of the subjects we chose to open our minds to. As we gather here, filled with pride at our accomplishments, I'm sure that for many of you, like me, the blood, sweat and tears shed in the process is still very real. I can now laugh about the nights that passed without sleep because an assignment was due, or the binding of my thesis at 9:50, due at 10, only to realise that a number of pages in the middle, no less, were upside down. But we finally had the system worked out. We knew which lectures to attend and where to get the notes for the ones we didn't. We could leave 3 assignments all due on the same day until the last moment while running our bodies on questionable university food and very little sleep. We were familiar and comfortable with our surroundings and made jokes about the first years with their discreetly folded campus maps. Who were they trying to kid? We lived the university experience. We opened our minds and fueled our brains and became the big fish in the little pond. For many of us, it's now time to arm ourselves with the skills we have learned and move into the next pond, where new opportunities will be seized and our experiences expanded. Once again, it's a time where our attention spans will be overloaded by the second with all of the new and exciting possibilities presented before us, and I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine Allington, for your speech. I now declare this ceremony concluded. May I invite all present to join us for a cold drink in the marquee adjoining the Great Hall. The University Union also invites you to make your way afterwards to the Shortland Union building where tea will be served. You will also be able to order photographs, have your testamers framed, view a range of university memorabilia and no doubt enjoy the company of your family and friends in celebrating this great occasion.